Welcome to the ElevUSA. This is the story of a silent town, the last stop. The town wasn't on any map. Ethan Carter stared at the flickering GPS screen as his car rolled to a stop. The highway had been empty for miles, and now the screen showed nothing but a blank space where the road should be. His fuel gauge hovered just above empty. The last sign he had seen, miles back, had read, "Welcome to Ravenshade, a place to call home." But something about it had been unsettling. The sign was old, its paint peeling. There were deep scratch marks across the wood, as if something had tried to claw it apart. He should have turned back. But as he looked at the empty stretch behind him, he realized he had no choice. He needed fuel. And Ravenshade was the only town in sight. Taking a deep breath, Ethan pulled the car forward. As he crossed into town, a strange sensation washed over him, like stepping into a place forgotten by time. The air felt heavier. And then he noticed it. The silence. No people, no cars, no dogs barking or birds chirping, just an unnatural, suffocating stillness. A deserted town, or so it seemed. Ethan drove past rows of old houses, their windows dark, their doors slightly ajar. The town looked frozen, as if the people had left in a hurry, but there were no signs of struggle. No abandoned cars, no scattered belongings, just empty streets. Then he saw the gas station. It was the only building with its lights still on. Relief flooded through him as he pulled up to the pump. He stepped out, inhaling the cold night air, and reached for the nozzle. But as he lifted it, he froze. There was no fuel. The pump was dry. Frustration gnawed at him. Maybe someone inside could help. The glass door to the station was slightly open, swinging faintly in the breeze. A single dim light flickered inside. "Hello?" Ethan called, stepping in. The place was empty. Shelves of snacks and drinks sat untouched, but the air smelled stale, like the building had been closed for years. The cash register was still open, a few dusty bills inside. Then, a sudden noise, a faint tapping sound. Ethan turned sharply, his pulse spiking. It was coming from the cooler at the back of the store. The glass door was fogged over, but a shadowy figure stood inside. His breath caught. Someone was in there. Slowly he reached for the handle. His fingers trembled as he pulled the door open. The figure fell forward. A mannequin. Ethan stumbled back, his heart hammering. Who would put a mannequin inside a cooler? And then he saw the note pinned to its chest. "Don't let them hear you." A chill ran down his spine. And that's when he heard it. A whisper. Close. Too close. Ethan spun around, his eyes darting across the empty store. The whisper had been right behind him, so close that he could feel the breath against his skin. But there was no one there. He backed away slowly, gripping the note in his shaking hands. The silence pressed in around him. The only sound was his own ragged breathing. Then, movement. Through the glass window of the gas station, he saw something shifting in the street. A shadow, tall and unnatural, slithering across the pavement without a sound. It wasn't walking. It was gliding. Ethan's stomach twisted. He didn't know what it was, but he knew one thing. It was looking for him. He ducked behind the counter, barely daring to breathe. Outside, the shadow paused. Then, slowly, it turned its head toward the gas station and smiled, a grin too wide for any human face. Ethan's blood ran cold. He needed to get out now. Ethan sprinted out of the station, heart pounding. The town stretched before him, still eerily empty. He didn't know where to go, only that he had to keep moving. He turned a corner and spotted a house with a flickering porch light. The door was slightly ajar. Without thinking, he ran inside and slammed it shut behind him. Silence. The house was abandoned, just like the rest of the town. Dust covered the furniture, and the air smelled of old wood and decay. But there was something else. Footprints in the dust, fresh ones. Ethan swallowed hard. He wasn't alone. Then he noticed something strange. All the mirrors in the house were covered. Old sheets hung over them, draped like ghosts. And scrawled across the fabric in dark red ink were the words, "Don't look at them." A shiver crawled down Ethan's spine. He pulled one of the sheets down. The mirror beneath was cracked, the glass clouded with dust. And in its reflection, something moved behind him. Ethan turned, but the room was empty. His breath came in short, ragged gasps. He was losing his mind. Or maybe the town was making him lose it. He needed answers. Then he saw the bookshelf. A thick, leather-bound journal sat on the top shelf, covered in dust. He opened it. The pages were filled with hurried writing, panicked scribbles. One entry caught his eye. "The town is cursed. It feeds on those who stay too long. The shadows, they listen, they watch, and once you see them, they never let you go." Ethan's blood turned to ice. Then from the doorway, a whisper. "You shouldn't have come here." Ethan turned to see a woman standing in the shadows. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with fear. "You need to leave," she whispered, "before they take you." Ethan didn't hesitate. "How do I get out?" The woman pointed toward the highway. "They only exist inside the town's borders. Drive, don't stop, no matter what you see." Ethan bolted out the door. As he reached his car, the shadows began to move. Hundreds of them, emerging from the buildings, slithering toward him. Smiling, Ethan jumped into the driver's seat, turning the key. The engine roared to life. The shadows lunged. He hit the gas. The town blurred past him, the road stretching endlessly ahead. He didn't dare look back. And then he saw the sign. "Welcome to Ravenshade, a place to call home." His stomach dropped, because this time, the sign was brand new. And beneath it, fresh paint dripped from the words, "No one leaves." Ethan's car sped down the road, but the town never faded in the distance. It was still there, still waiting. And behind him in the back seat, something whispered his name.